have been following your story since you were in LA doing Ankara Festival, and I was so fascinated at the story of this Nigerian woman who basically is storming the LA scene. And then I saw the trajectory of what happened with that part of your life that you can feel free to share with our audience if you want to. And then you started to become an artist. And it's hard for me to say you became because that gift is gifting. So like to say that you became is like you went to school to learn. What you are, what we see behind you is not just something that you just pick up a paintbrush and you just start to become. This was in you. And sometimes I believe that things happen, they don't happen to you, they happen for you so that you can unlock your greatest potential. And this you were hiding until you had to go through what you had to go through to unlock this. So for all those who do not know who you are, please tell us who Dunnie O is.
So interesting because I say that like, you know, my art is a reflection of my energy, you know, because that's really what it is. And I'm so grateful that God has like brought me to this point in my life because there were so many like synchronicities and like things that happened to where I'm just like, okay, like I understand I'm on the right path, but this is so hard. Like it was very challenging at certain points. It's been a process, and I am, you know, Nigerian American, or should I'm Nigerian. Didn't like ever like spend any of my childhood like in Nigeria. I spent it all like in the DC area. And then I went to school down south. So I went to school for business and sales and marketing, business administration at Tuskegee University. And even there, I was just very much, yeah. So I'm an HBCU graduate.
Okay.
But also a member of Delta Sigma Theta. So I crossed at Tuskegee as well.
Okay. Yeah. So you're truly from the DMV.
Yeah. So I'm from here. So even me coming back to this area was very much like a hard reset for me as far as like, okay, my family's here. My daughter at the time, she was 2. She was still only 2, my firstborn. She's about to be 8. Like to see like, okay, so much has happened. Yeah. But that's essentially kind of like synopsis of my journey. So I went from Maryland to California, to Alabama, to California, then back to Maryland. So, you know, I feel like I've had like different chapters in my life, and I've, you know, really experienced a lot of different things. So I started painting January on canvas for the first time, January of 2018. That's when I first came back here. And I remember I told God at that time, I was like, you know, if this is what I'm supposed to be doing, like I want to try this for a year. If this doesn't work out, if it's not working out, then, you know, I'll go back to school. Like I'll figure, you know, I'll try something else. Like I won't do this. But I just felt it. Like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I kept with it. And
when it's your calling, it's going to keep calling.
And things will just align for you. And I always get like, I feel like I always get like goosebumps telling my own story because when I tell it, people are just like, what?
But what was the igniting fuel that really, really said, okay, Dunnie, it's time to unleash your artistry? What was that moment for you?
I think for me it felt very much like sink or swim when I had to come here, because I literally came back here on a one-way ticket with my child, and that's like nothing else. Like I had things in store, like I didn't get to properly move. You know what I'm saying? It was a very abrupt and traumatic like uprooting. You know, just coming to peace with letting all of that go. You know what I'm saying? And just focusing on like the here and now. That's what made me really important to my art, because it was healing for me. It's like I just want to feel better about myself and about life. So that's what I chose to put my energy into.
That's amazing. So do you feel as though you are truly walking in your calling?
Yes, absolutely. No doubt about it in my mind. That's why I'm just like, okay, I know. And you know, like literally God, I feel like I tell people, it's like, oh, like, how do you, like, this is what you do? I was like, yeah, it's like, I live by spiritual law. Like God literally says, I'll bless the works of your hands. I'll work with my hands. Like, it's not, I don't want to be like, oh, it's easy, but it's like, it's an actual law behind this way of life. If you truly believe and you have faith, that you are abundantly and divinely provided for, you really should never like waste your energy in worry and doubt. That's just a waste of your energy, because literally I've been so blessed to where it's like people are like, oh, like how do you know what I don't know what the next project is coming, but God always surprises me in ways where I'm just like, oh, okay, that's what we're doing next. Okay, that's what you got next. Okay. So literally for me, it's like I've been blessed to have a consistent flow of commissions all these years. People are like, how is it that you're able to do this like by yourself? And I'm like, well, I'm not technically by myself, because I feel like I know I'm spirit guided. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's just like God always has something for me that's next, or something's always coming. I have lived with that spirit of expectancy, like God is going to have work for me to do. Like there's always
Come on. I can relate to walking in expectancy, because God that did it yesterday will do it today. So like, how? Yes, exactly. You, because God remembers. So how has being Nigerian American impacted? Because I see the blacks behind you, I see the gold, I see the African American women that you're highlighting. So what has your Nigerian American culture, how has it impacted your creativity?
So my parents are amazing people, and I feel like, as a child, they didn't necessarily, they knew I was creative, but, in their mind, it's like, okay, like you need to focus on medicine, you focus on science. Like it wasn't like they really don't believe that the artistry could be the thing. But it's like, now that I'm in this season of my life, they do in fact, so they're like, okay, like clearly you have a call in your life, because this is very not normal, like how you've been able to maneuver and go about things. So and some people don't understand it. I feel like sometimes other Nigerians, even, they don't really understand it either.
You have 3 careers that you can do as a Nigerian. If you stay out, if you get outside of that, they think that you're wayward.
Exactly. They're just like, okay, like best wishes to you. But I think and I feel like that's how God shows up for me. You know what I'm saying? Like God will never like allow you to be put to shame at all. Like especially when you're in your purpose, like you're gonna be provided for. Because people will have questions like, oh, like how can you have this? How can you have that? Because even when it comes to the space that I have, people are like, how are you able to have this in this part of the country? And then like how? And it's like I've had the studio now for 5 years, and
look at God. I believe that when you're where you're supposed to be, things just flow naturally. It's like the omen from The Alchemist. I don't know if you ever read The Alchemist book, but it's basically they talk about just omens of when you're where God wants you to be, things are going to just be smooth. It's going to be like smooth sailing. Not saying things will be perfect, but they won't be
line.
Exactly. So how do you feel as though the things that you've gone through, like, are they shown in your art pieces? Like, is there a technique that you do that you feel this is what, like, do you base it on how I'm feeling, or this is your signature?
So I like incorporating a lot of texture into my work, and I'm glad you brought that up, because one of the main reasons why I use glass, crushed glass, broken glass in a lot of my pieces. And I use it, I like it because of how the texture and how it catches light, but I use it also for its symbolism, because broken glass is usually discarded. Like it's not something people find of value, like it's whatever. But I use it as a visual reminder, because like beauty can still come from brokenness, or something that you feel is no longer valid, or was once you was once popping, but not anymore. But it's like, actually, you know what I'm saying? And the same concept of, it's like, okay, broken crayons, they still color. Like, what do you mean? Like,
I love that. Oh, I love that, girl. I'm gonna have to quote that in the write-up. That was so good. That was so good. So what project are you most proud of?
I think of some things like throughout the day, because there's so many things that I've just had that I've been blessed with the opportunity to work on. And
so we're gonna do top 3. We're gonna do top 3, because I don't want you to feel do top 3. So to give you feel like, okay, because I know you got some love in different places.
Okay, so I feel like probably, the most recent obviously is the Smithsonian one, because that was just like, what? There was just so many things that went into it, but I'm just so grateful that it's like, okay, the series sold out, like they were all well attended, like it just felt so like blessed.
Sold out.
Yeah. I was like, it did. And I'm so grateful for that. And then another cool thing that I did, so it wasn't last year before, I was asked by Casetify. They're a really big international cell phone case company. So I did like a collection with them of
Oh,
my
that's
art
so
on cell phone cases.
awesome.
Yeah. So that was really fun to do too. It was different, out of my usual like
Yeah.
wheelhouse. So
It's
like when we dropped
incredible.
that, so we dropped that campaign, that was like super fun. And
Wow.
then I was asked by Hyundai. I was approached by the marketing agency that does their releases. They were coming out with the first sport adventure vehicle, and they were distinctly looking for artists. And they wanted specifically like a female artist and an African American one. Ding. So I was asked to be one of the artists for that campaign. So, girl, they shipped me a car to do a campaign with.
To
And
to paint on the car?
no, they sent me the car to like have for the week to create content with, like as a part of this campaign. So, which was like what? So they wanted
What?
to see like how I would be able to. Yeah, right. It's like y'all really paying me, and y'all sending me a car to have for like I had it for like a full week, and we took it out, like did like a picnic, like put my art in it, like we just used like they're like
Yeah.
okay, like basically use it like how you would like in your
Yeah.
art, like as you would as an artist. So shot that like with my team, like that was really cool. We even did like some drone shots with me like in the
That,
car, like
yo.
driving. Girls, it was fun. So I'm like,
Listen, you're not in your calling, girl. I don't know what you would call this. People are shipping you cars?
I know. So I was like, what happened? I was like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, it's a sport adventure vehicle. We just want you to,
Amazing.
highlight your life as an artist. I'm
Amazing.
like, y'all pay me to be myself with a car? Okay, great.
So what is next for Dunnie O?
Okay, so I have my artist studio here, and I've so Viz Art Center is actually an art gallery, and all the other studio artists here are also faculty. So now this year I've officially now become hired as faculty here. So thank you.
Congrats.
Yeah, so I'm actually
Yes.
teaching
You better
my
get
first
back.
I'm teaching like my first like big like group like private event here next month, and then I'll be working with the education department to actually like build out like regular course offerings and things here. So that's exciting for me because I'm just like, okay, this is a new season. Clearly,
Listen,
I'm
I feel
so
like this is an exclusive.
no,
Y'all
it
heard that?
is.
So you're in the DMV area. Make sure you check out Dunnie O classes. That's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm really excited about it. So that's like I feel like that's like the next like big thing. And then I have my art that's here from my different collections, and just working, mom life, I have client projects like here and there too with different opportunities. So I'm grateful for the diversity in my work, because I feel like when you're an artist, the possibilities are so endless, like in terms of like what you can do or what you could be
Mhm.
doing or how you could be spending your time. So my prayer is always to just like, okay, God, like I just want to be in alignment with what you have for me and what's going to be the best use and most efficient use of my time. So
Mm.
and energy. Yeah.
I want
Well,
our
I hate
readers and all those watching to see some of your artwork. So I want you to take us on a little tour of your
sure.
studio. And so
Okay.
let us see the things that you are most proud of. Let us see some of your artistry.
Oh,
And yes, that will be so amazing for our readers
okay.
to see.
So this is my studio,
Huge.
and my name's on the door. I don't know if you guys can
Amazing.
see. I think I feel like God is so intentional in the sense like God knows I love natural light, and literally it's floor to the ceilings are super high, and I love high ceilings. So literally,
Listen,
as far as the space, like
that is beautiful.
it's floor to ceiling windows, and it's like even the way the ledges are, it's like perfect for displaying like art, right?
Yes.
Like so many little like details where it's just like okay, like clearly
Alignment. Alignment.
alignment. It's
Yeah.
like God knows what you like, and He'll make sure
Yeah.
everything makes sense. So this is my space, and I've been in here for 5 years now, and I have my work here. These are works from my collections. This is one of my favorite paintings right now. It's
That
from
is
my
so
novel.
beautiful.
I painted this year, and this is entitled Sundance 3. And then there's another one like tippy top up This one is entitled Prana, so it's entitled like life force energy.
Mm.
And I feel like it's a self-portrait of my energy as far as the colors, and there's gold in there. And then this is one that I love so much. It's entitled Born to Fly. So it's a butterfly.
Oh my gosh, I love butterflies. They encompass so much of that cocoon stage of rebuilding and then opening up in like beauty.
Yes. So that's this one. And this is a part of my Euphoria collection. And this one is a Queen Ida rendition. And this is from
That
my
is
thank
beautiful.
you. My Smithsonian series.
Look at those strokes.
Thank you. And she just sold actually, so her the buyer is actually the DMV, so she'll be picking her up soon. I create like renderings of like each piece, like with the pricing and everything. Just so people can really, like, I'm very like intentful about like everything I put out. So I like to put out the collections just so people can get a very like strong sense of like what I do. And
now for all those who want their hands on those art pieces, how can our readers and those watching contact you?
So my website is www.dunnietheartist.com, and I'm a resident studio artist at the Viz Art Center Art Gallery in Rockville, Maryland.
Awesome. Thank you so very much for jumping on this interview with me. You have been a breath of fresh air. I am so happy for you. I am genuinely happy for you as another woman who has experienced heartbreak and who has experienced picking herself back up and just not being able to do anything but just surrender because there's just nothing left to do, and feeling like she's being pulled into her calling and excelling in that calling. You, hats off to you, and I am so happy to see you smiling and see you on the other side. And I know in 5 years we're going to see those exterior murals, we're going to see you doing more exhibits, and I cannot wait to see them.
Oh, thank you